Hey, welcome back to the show again, and I have Potatoe Dave asking me a very difficult question. I had to Google some of this stuff. His question was, what is your personal opinion on the modern and ancient church dogma concerning Native Americans who form punk rock bands? I'll get to the second question later. Well, Dave, and your question goes back to the very deep roots of Christianity and Native American punk rock music. Evidently, the Mormons were wrong. It wasn't Jesus who came over to America and witnessed to the Native Americans. The Native Americans came over to the Middle East, and basically over in America, they didn't really. They were running out of venues. They were running out of an audience. Some of the punk rock artists were ostracized by their tribes. So they decided to get in their rowboats. They came across the deep, wide blue ocean to the Middle East, where Christianity was just starting out. And back in those days, they got along. Christians were pretty crazy back then. They weren't institutionalized. They were just free roaming people who were just doing what they wanted and having some crazy parties and some Native American people converted because they were having such a good time, and they already kind of knew about God. They were man, this Christian thing's cool. So and they would even play shows with them and churches, and then when they got thrown to the Christians got thrown to the lions and everything, the Native Americans were just playing shows right there in the Roman Colosseums. Yeah, this is really entertaining. The Romans were. We don't know much all this stuff. It's kind of buried in history. But then the church starts getting institutionalized. Native Americans are the first punk rock. I mean, everybody's always like, well, where did punk rock start? In Great Britain and the U.S.? Neither. It started with the Native Americans from over to the north. But as the church kind of institutionalized Native Americans to look down on them, I mean, it's kind of weird, And there was this big thing about the feathers in the hair. That, you couldn't wear feathers in your hair. There's this weird rule. This is one of those other little rules that people put up that don't make any sense. I don't know. It's kind of like the whole spike bracelets and stuff. I mean, a few decades ago, man, if you did that, you were the world, man. You did that kind of stuff, and you were like, a mohawk. Oh, that was the other thing. The Mohawks, they had the wild, crazy hair. They were big on PD scene. Anyway, some progress was made with kind of trying to think outside the box here, but then the sales went down one year when Christians boycotted their music after Origin and Clement and Turtle Man, or Tertullian or something. Anyway, they got pissed off about the Redskins winning. Of course, I'm reading it, but it's research on Google. Okay. Anyway, let's see, where was I? Oh yeah. Anyway, these early church fathers were pissed about the Redskins winning against the Yankees, and it was really biased. I mean, come on. I mean. They have every right to do what they want. They can win a baseball game and get your panties in or not. But no, I mean, anyway, it's crazy. So anyway, after all this, anyway, I had enough. I'm going back to America. So for a while we don't know what's going on. The scrolls were burned. That's why we don't really know that much. I mean, we had some couple records that found preserved recently as kind of a new discovery actually. So anyway, 16, 1800s, you know, colonists arriving in the New World, they see Native American punk rock bands again. I mean, and you know, evidently among them, you know, punk rock kind of died out. They came back, you know, they're like, punk's not dead, you know, it's still alive. So right about this time, these colonists are coming. And anyway, the reason that they were so persecuted, the story you didn't hear, is that they were playing punk rock. Of course, that's evil. I mean, you can't have this. And the Puritans were real strict about it. They had these Indian baptisms. And you have to do at least one Indian baptism to get saved. Then some groups like the Quakers, a little more liberal, you know, they just decided to boycott their shows and everything. And persecution continues, and natives continue to get restless. They keep getting ostracized. They're kind of moving on. They're, you know, there's like this huge segregation going on. And then like 1777, right after the colonies were built, that was a big year of revolt for everybody. I mean, Crazy Horse went off to work with Johnny Rotten. Geronimo did some stuff with the Clash. Sitting Bull just kind of sat around his ass for a while. Finally, I think he did some pretty noteworthy stuff with the Misfits. Not all of them played punk rock. I mean, you have some groups like Sioux and the Banshees and so on, but anyway, Crazy Horse and Geronimo were just trying to revolt, you know, but they were chased out of the clubs, and then Custer came along later and pretty much kicked them off the label for no good reason. You know, he was Presbyterian, you know. While the native punkers were trying to harken back to 77, those are the glory days. That's why you always hear talking about 77 all the time. What it was like in 77, how crazy it was in 77. Then the late 19th century, you just had your punk movement moving west of the Mississippi. It was a huge deal back then. You know, their battle cry was MISSISSIPBI. That's what they played all their shows, you know. Then as time went on, everyone was trying to settle down, you know. All the colonists, they're moving west. Punk's not about settling down. So settlers drove the native punk rockers off their turf in these small communities where all the different punk factions had to get along in unity. And you know, kind of coalesce and all that, and it's just kind of blended into this kind of lukewarm. You know, today the punk movement is kind of solidified. It's kind of this coffee kind of feel. Something the institutional church now tolerates, doesn't necessarily condone in some denominations. Some have had open arms, but it's such a superficial relationship. I mean, no one's really made reparations for all that's happened. I mean, these artists have put their heart and soul in what they do. They certainly don't deserve to be oppressed like this. And my opinion is just, I mean, they've been mistreated. You know, I know, you know, some of the people inside the church, they wanted to go to these punk shows, but they were too afraid. You know, they get ostracized from the church. So I mean, people like missed out some really great music. And it's just ridiculous what's happened. I mean, it's been going on for thousands of years now. It's time that, you know, some kind of changes, and you know, maybe they can, you know, harken back to the days like the 70s and all that. You know, play some real good music, and maybe, you know, have some Christian native punk rock bands. You know, but get some kind of I don't know, some change. Anyway.
What about it, hip hop? While the chicken beats butter, I didn't rush and go.